Hi guys, welcome back to my art challenge where I painted 30 paintings in 30 days. Today's video is part 4 where we are going to paint some hands. So grab your art materials and let's do it. Let's paint some hands. I started all of them with really raw sketch, and then I mixed the skin tones that I would use before I start painting, so I could save some time while I was painting. So if you are starting out, it's a really good way to save time when you are learning and when you are practicing. It's better to start on oil paint. There's so many ways that you can do it, but lately I've found it very useful, very handy when I start painting with the dark tones first, and then I add the mid tones, and for last I add the highlights, and then I let it dry for a bit, for a day or two, and then when I come back it's all dry and ready to do all again. I had a really hard time painting them because I'm not really familiar with painting hands. I'm getting better because I'm training, but I still have so much to learn, and that's totally fine. Everybody has their own time, and I honor that. I'm not in a hurry to finish everything perfectly because I know my limits, and I also know that I am getting better every painting. So if you find yourself a little bit frustrated because you're not already where you wish to be, just be patient and try trust in the process, because the process is so important and so valuable. For the leaves I did the same. I started with the darkest tones, and then I added the mid tones, and then I added the highlights. I was really afraid that how these leaves would turn out, so I tried to get really stuck in the reference, because the leaves was really, they were like succulents, but they were leaves, so I tried to keep this texture, and it wasn't easy. I had to put so many layers, but at the end I was really proud of the results that I achieved. For this second hand, I decided that I wanted to start with the background, because with the another one, with the leaves, was really hard to paint the leaves and paint the background, and I thought it would be easier for me if I just painted the whole background first. Also, for this hand, I tried to start painting the dark tones with blue, because I thought it could be a really nice contrast because of the background. So I basically used the same color that I use in the background to paint the darkest tones on this second hand. At first, I thought this hand was looking like a really old hand, but the reference photo was a really young hand, and I had a really hard time because I wanted to add all the shadows on the lines because of the position of the hand, but then I realized that it was just the position. It's not because the hand is old. Yeah. Since the background was already blue, I tried to use it as an advantage, so I started just adding the mid-tones, because the darkest tones would be kind of mixed with the green. For this third hand, I did the same principle that I did for the first one. I used more brownish skin tones to paint the darkest tones, and then I started adding the mid-tones and the highlights. For this fourth hand, I actually had a really hard time again. Because of the top hand, I don't really think I understood the anatomy behind it, and also, sorry, and also the position of the hand. I don't think I got it. I definitely want to try another sketches and maybe paint it again on my sketchbook instead of on the board, so I can understand better this position. And maybe I should, I don't should, I know that I will, because it's very much needed. I want to try sketch and paint different positions of the hand so I can understand the anatomy behind it better. For those who are thinking that it's really hard to paint hands and draw hands, and yeah, it's really hard indeed. For these two hands here, I'm just adding more contrast and the less details. For this one, I decided to add some pink clouds because I thought it could be cute, and I also tried to bring this daytime energy to the background so I could have a nighttime and a daytime hands. I think they work pretty well. I love it, this part that I'm adding these highlights on the leaves, because I thought it brings to life. For this one, I decided that I wanted a darker background because I wasn't really liking this blue one. Since the beginning, I knew that I didn't want this hand to have this light blue black background, but I wanted to have this just to see the contrast and the values on the picture. But then I decided that I wanted this background to be black, pure black. I didn't mix, I can't remember if I mixed it with some blue, but yeah, even those hands, I decided to put a darker green on the background because I thought the hand could, because the hands was too bright, and with the background darker I could have more contrast on it, and so far I think they worked just fine. So thank you guys so much for watching until now. I will post the next video very soon, and I see you there. Bye.